Hey guys, tonight I'm going to be making some meatballs. I haven't made these, Tammy's looked it up, I haven't made these in 15 years, wow. Andrew, this is like, Andrew loves this stuff. It's like one of his favorite meals I've ever made. That and the fried chicken, one of the favorites. So what you need about 3 tablespoons of chopped onions. I just guesstimated, that's enough onions for us. You need a 1/4 of a cup of butter, and it's just stick butter over here. 1/2 a cup of dry breadcrumbs, which are these plain Progresso breadcrumbs. You can make your own if you've got old bread, you want to toast it and make your own, you can do that too. You need 1.5 cups of milk, 2 pounds of hamburger, which is just a little over, but it's all right. 1 egg, 1.5 teaspoons of salt, 1/4 of a teaspoon of pepper, and 1 tablespoon of flour. And Tammy's just put it all in one bowl there for you. So what you do first is get your butter melted. My pan's on. I haven't got it really high, but it's on just a little bit. And I'm going to melt my butter, and I'm going to saute my onions first. So that's your first step. So I'm gonna let this butter melt and get my onions in, and I'll be right back. You don't have to watch my butter melt. All right, here's my onions, my butter. It's a lot of butter, but you're actually gonna cook your meatballs in the butter. That's why there's so much of it. So I got my onions on there. It's about on medium. The heat is medium high. Those are gonna saute up until they just become clear and maybe just a little brown. So while those are sauteing, what you wanna do is take your breadcrumbs and pour them in your bowl. Pour them in the same bowl you're gonna stir them up in. That's what I always do. And then put your milk in there. And I always give them a little bit of a stir. I'm just going to use the same one I'm going to saute my onions with. And what you want to do is you want to soak your breadcrumbs. Now these breadcrumbs are so fine, it probably doesn't matter like super much. But if you have a bigger, hunkier, chunky breadcrumbs, you'll definitely want to soak those because you don't want your breadcrumbs to be dry. You want them to be moist. So while my onions are going, I just let this sit in the bowl and soak. Okay, there's my onions. They're not quite translucent yet, but that's okay. So I'm gonna turn my heat down to just kind of medium-low. You'll want a slotted spoon, something you can get the onions out without getting the butter all over the place, because you don't want your butter in here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just kind of scoop these onions out. So now you want to take your hand, well, I'm gonna take my egg first. I took my wedding ring off because I don't want it goopy hamburger all over in my rings. I'm gonna break that up. And just get in there with your hands. I'm gonna put the hamburger in there. And I'm kinda gonna spread it out. And then I'm gonna take this mixture of salt and pepper and just kinda sprinkle it, salt, pepper, and flour. And it's kinda sprinkled over top, and then it's all gonna get mixed in anyway, but okay. And I'm just gonna work this with my hands. If it feels too wet, you can add some more breadcrumbs if you want. This looks pretty decent from what I remember. It should be about the consistency of a meatloaf almost, as long as they hold a ball. And I may want just a sprinkle and more breadcrumbs. Give me 1 second. Okay, Tammy sprinkled some on top, and this may not be enough still, but we'll see. I just want it to soak up a little bit more of that moisture. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, so now I'm going to make balls that may be a little bit too big. And I'm literally just going to put it in this oil, and I'm going to turn my heat up. Tammy can turn it up to medium high, probably, yeah, on 8. And I'm just going to take these and lay them right in the skillet. And what you want to do is get them good and brown. So they're going to sit on like one side for a little while, and then you'll roll them around a little bit and get on another edge, and then get them on another piece, and you want them to be good and brown all the way through, and on the whole outside. And then you're going to keep cooking them, rotating them every so often until you get a good middle that's not pink inside. Now, how I usually check that, I just cut them open. Probably not the best way of doing it because you kind of tear them up, but I just cut them in half, and you can tell that way. So anyway, I'm gonna make these into balls and get these going, and I'll be back when they're getting close to being done. Okay, here's the first batch. I've still got a ton left, so there's enough for 2, probably maybe 3 batches. But they're starting to get brown. I just take my fork and just look underneath, and you can see when I flip it over. See, it's getting a little brown on the bottom. So just kind of turn them, maybe a 1/4 of a turn, just so they won't, you don't want them to burn. That's the biggest thing. Okay, I turned these up on the side. They were ready to go one more time. They were brown on the other side. So now I've just kind of turned them up on their ends because they're not perfect circles. So anyway, I'm going to keep on going. In the dead space back here, I'm actually going to take some more of that mixture and add like maybe 4 or 5 or 6 more back here. So you can kind of see the new ones are kind of back here in the back. But here's, I'm just take a fork and I just kind of push in there and kind of fold it open. And it looks like it's, I think there might be just a touch of pink in the middle. So I'm going to leave them for just a few more minutes. But I'm going to just keep on rotating them around. I just kind of keep moving around to where they don't burn. But you know, you don't have to stress about them too much. The very beginning, when you first put them in there, that's when they want to burn the most. As long as you keep moving them after that, they're usually okay. Okay, they're done now. So I'm just taking them on, putting them on a plate with just a paper towel, a couple of paper towels on, just let them drain because they are kind of greasy. And I mean, if you like them greasy, go for it. But we like ours to drain just a little bit. And Tammy was saying you could make these and put them in like a marinara or a pasta sauce. You could use Italian breadcrumbs instead of regular plain breadcrumbs. You could do sausage instead of hamburger. You could do all kinds of different stuff to spice these up a little bit. So anyway, we're gonna let these drain just a little bit and then we'll try them out.
Okay, we have some meatballs, and we are having other things with this meal, but we want to try this for you.
Right.
And
another batch is still
another batch. Yeah, they're frying. You can probably hear them frying. How many did you say?
About 30.
About 30.
Yep, that's what I remember.
That's very good.
It makes it's like a hamburger, but squishier. I don't know how to explain it. It's
but not pasty or anything like that.
No, it's like a meatloaf. It really is. It's like a meatloaf in a
without the tomato sauce, you know.
Without the tomatoey stuff.
Right. Now, with mine, I will be adding either ketchup. I have another bottle. That one's almost empty. Or I have some Worcestershire sauce. I'm going to try both.
Barbecue, you could do anything you want with it.
I love Worcestershire sauce.
You just like the flavor.
I like the flavor. Honestly, it doesn't need anything. It's perfect the way it is. But I just like to add a little bit of flavor to it because I don't eat those things very often, those condiments very often. So I like to add them when I can.
Let me show you what it looks like inside too. I didn't think about cutting them open, but
they're perfect too.
See if I can hold one up for you. There you go.
So I hope you enjoyed the video. It's an easy, they're not hard to make. You just have to plan ahead a little bit.
It does make a little mess on your stove.
It does. They take about, what, 40 minutes?
All from start to finish.
From start to finish, about 40 minutes. No. So I hope you enjoyed the video and thanks for watching.